There comes a point in every man's life where he wakes up and thinks, I don't feel like myself. I'm doing the work, but the fire isn't there. I'm providing, but I'm not alive. And it hits entrepreneur, it hits husbands, it hits fathers. Look, the world doesn't talk about it, but men lose their fire quietly, and sometimes slowly, and sometimes all at once. Look, this message is for the men who feel, right? Those men who feel like they're drifting. Not because he's weak, but because he's been carrying more than he can name. Not more than he can handle, more than he can name. So today, I'm going to show you exactly how to reignite that fire, rebuild your direction from the inside out. Right? But first, story time. So there was a season where I was doing everything right on paper. Running the business, taking care of my family, showing up, performing, and yet there was this heavy cloud sitting on my chest, right? Almost like a quiet fog, right? I wasn't depressed, I wasn't broken, but I was just like I wasn't lit up either, right? Like I felt like a man who used to be on fire, right? Back when I was doing a podcast and I was speaking, I was writing, like I felt that fire, and then I had to do all the other things, and and that's what I worked through the shame, the resentment, the guilt, all that kind of stuff. But then success happened, and I just felt like a man who used to be on fire, and now just running on embers, right? Like, and I remember like sitting alone, like one night, thinking, like, is this it? Like, is this just the version of me I have to live with now? But what I didn't realize was this: I hadn't lost my fire. I had lost connection. Connection to who? To myself, to God, to purpose, to emotional truth. My emotional energy was just scattered, right? And my internal world was just like clogged, right? My direction was buried under just expectations and responsibilities. And when I started doing the work, releasing all the emotions, whew, being honest about what I wanted and reconnecting to who I actually am, oh man, that fire came back stronger, clearer, more focused. And yes, it wasn't easy inside of my relationship with my spouse and the kids, and right? But I was more focused. I was more grounded, right? It was not from motivation, but from alignment. So here are three things you can do to get it back. One, identify the leaks. Look, your fire doesn't disappear. It leaks. And leaks come from a couple of things, all right? So I'm gonna list a couple of them. Resentment, suppressed frustration, pretending you're okay, aka lying, carrying expectations that aren't yours, holding baggage, being overloaded without support, abandoning the things that energize you, right? So you want your fire back? Start by identifying where your energy is leaking. Like, ask yourself this question, right? Or these questions. What is draining me the most right now? Where am I pretending? Where am I avoiding a conversation? Look, fire dies in silence. Fire dies in emotional isolation. Fire dies when you're operating out of duty instead of desire. Once you see the leaks, you can start sealing them, right? Two, reconnect to what makes you come alive. Your fire is tied to alignment, not busyness, not pressure, not productivity. Look, when is the last time you train your body with intention? prayed with raw honesty, journaled your truth, created something, slow down enough to hear God. Like, gave yourself permission to dream again. A man that loses his fire when he disconnects from his soul, right? That's when a man loses his fire, when he disconnects from his own soul. And you get it back when you reconnect to the things that awaken you. For me, it was Muay Thai. It was writing. It was speaking. It was stillness. Look, it was being honest with God about what hurt. It was being honest with myself about what I wanted. About having those raw conversations with my wife about feelings, and also holding space for her, and admitting and owning my mistakes. Look, your fire isn't doing more. It's remembering who the hell you are. 3, build a new mission. A man without a mission burns out. A man without a mission burns out. A man with a mission burns bright. I like that. A man without a mission burns out. A man with a mission burns bright. Look, your fire returns when you have something to aim at, right? Not a task list, not a to-do list, not a get-done list. A calling, a target, a reason to get up with intensity. So ask yourself this question. What season am I in? What does God want from me right now? What is one thing I can commit? What is one thing I can commit to that would change everything? Then choose a mission that stretches you, right? Not one that destroys you, one that stretches you. Look, a mission that makes you feel alive again is how you get reconnected. A mission that calls out the warrior, the king, the lover, the magician in you. Because direction isn't found, it's built. Right? Direction isn't found, it's built. So if you feel like you've lost your fire, remember this. Identify the leak. Reconnect to what awakens you. Build a mission that pulls you forward. Your fire didn't die. It's waiting. And once you ignite it again, everything around you shifts. Your marriage is going to shift. Your wife is going to feel something different because you're embodying something different. Your leadership is going to shift. Your team is going to feel like you're different. Your confidence is going to grow because you know where you're going and you feel good about it. You're not just on autopilot. Your purpose is going to be clearer. Look, you're not done. You're not burned out. You're being invited to rise. You're being invited to rise. And yes, sometimes you need support. Reach out. But you're invited to rise. So look, in the next video, I'm going to hit the question men ask silently. Why does it feel like I'm doing everything alone? And why does nobody understand what I'm carrying? So, you want to get to it? Click the box right there, and I'll meet you in there. Peace out.